Hey everybody, it's Mr. Joe. There's a red light on. What's that mean?
You think it's stoplight rules or?
Just here to wish you a great year at Hillington High.
Hey, Mr. John, who's birthday what?
What? You know, at Hillington High, our honor roll has the highest GPA in the state. Do you have what it takes to make the honor roll? That good, Jimmy?
You're all good?
Fantastic.
Previously on Stay Alive, the survivors found themselves navigating from Silver City, Georgia, to the hills and low mountains beyond, ultimately finding themselves delivered into close proximity of an ARC research lab by operatives that had been assisting them both in their survival and in their purposeful pursuit of trying to aid in finding an end to the exorcism outbreak. With a great many survivors lost along the way, the survivors ultimately had one last ditch effort with the remaining operatives still in tow to potentially find and put an end to ARC's seemingly nefarious aims towards developing a cure for the purposes of selectively withholding it. This information coming on the heels of Operative Vapor, a one-time ally, now enemy, having eliminated one of the survivors, absconding with one of two necessary components for the development of such a treatment, and leaving the survivors to their fates, with the injured, dying, and otherwise hindered survivors and operatives still yet trying to find a more humanitarian solution to the outbreak. These pursuits ultimately saw them calling in additional help, high-end reinforcements, and with the last available resources that the Archangels could yet provide, the survivors were navigating towards Chicago, specifically looking to link up with a researcher, a specialist in bioengineering, coordinate with her in a special bioengineering lab, and put the two pieces of the puzzle together for the sake of accomplishing their mission. Fighting Zerk along the way, and now dealing with operatives and Ark loyalists in a yet unknown regard, the survivors' helicopter was brought down just within the city limits. A meeting to exchange these two integral parts set up now between the operatives assisting the survivors and Operative Vapor, the one-time double-crosser of the group. Following a tragic and thunderous fall from the sky, David was the only one to sustain serious injuries, with Crit sustaining a minor injury in the form of a concussion. But otherwise, it seems as if, at least for the moment, Esme and Lexi remain somewhat resolved in their physical forms. David's broken leg providing a navigational hindrance, to be sure, but the rest of the operatives seemingly making it out of the crash with no major damage. With that being the case, you find yourselves grounded in a thundering crash that now sees you disoriented, destabilized, and trying to at least get a vague semblance of understanding of your surroundings. The whirring of the propeller blades slowing down as they scrape along the floor. Now, the entirety of the helicopter coming to a full stop, and small flames dancing off the ignited exterior following the crash. Survivors. What happens next?
Have I regained consciousness?
You are slower and groggier than any others, but your unconsciousness was decidedly temporary. No different than a devastating punch, but able to bring yourself around rather quickly.
Did we just crash? Why the fuck did we just crash? When you put things in the air, you're not supposed to hit the ground at high velocity.
You see Glitch grabbing the back of her helmet and kind of throwing it off forward into the dash of the cockpit. Got shot down. Boss, help.
By what?
And you see Paws kind of leaning over, trying to help her out of her seat. He'll be nearby then. They knew we were coming. They must have intercepted communications or something. I don't know. We're gonna have to get a move on though. I think priority needs to be getting to that high-end payload drop. We're not gonna be able to fight our way to where we need to go if we don't have weapons. And we're basically running low.
Yeah, I got one more complication to add to that. I think my leg's broke.
Okay. Boss, try and help. And you see Glitch sort of stumble forward, placing both hands on the inside of the door, more or less prying herself from the interior, as it looks like Taurus is slowly getting to his feet, kind of following suit, looking around within the cargo area, kind of a little bit scattered. Finally locating where his rifle ended up, grabbing it, slinging it around him, starting to step out as well. I'm gonna say, on your behalf, we'll give Pause well prepared for the hype train we have. And 18, these Pause immediately taking out parts, pieces, and plates of some of the periphery of her armor, affixing them to the outside of your leg, making a quick assessment, recognizing that there's no compound breach of the bone itself, but you likely won't be able to make any sudden movements or quick inputs, but with a deft speed and accuracy that you could only expect from a field triage operative, it feels as if at least downward weight is not going to hinder you significantly, and you probably have additional mobility compared to what you might otherwise. You won't be very shifty or quick, but you will at least be able to probably move somewhat normally. I'm actually going to say with that effort, you can go ahead and add one of your physique penalties back. What is everyone else looking to do right away?
Just trying to brush myself off and get to my feet. And I would like to, I assume the door is still ajar or open. So I'm trying to
totally open at this point.
Not step all the way out, but I want to get it close enough to start listening to see if I hear something coming up on us, since these people don't seem to know what the fuck they're doing.
Okay. Make an effort to notice, please.
And then it's well prepared. 11.
You do notice that in the distance, you're already starting to hear some of the telltale signs of Zerk activity drawn to the noise. A very clear and audible situation to have found yourselves in, and clearly drawing attention, but also probably not that much more obscure. At least in some vague capacity, you're also hearing a helicopter possibly circling nearby.
All right. Can I kind of pick myself up? And they had somebody strapped down, which means there's some sort of medical supplies on here. Can I just gather whatever science, medical supplies, and also checked on that person who was back there, and then maybe try to get them and get out of the helicopter?
Make an effort to apply, I'm going to say, use your wits.
That's a 3. Oh, wait, train.
Yep, we do have a hype train. It is well prepared.
That's a 5.
Okay. Grabbing at bandages, splints, tubes, there is seemingly a focused collection of quick patch medical supplies that includes a number of saline solutions and injectables, none of which have a readily identifiable nature to you off the jump. But you do at least have an idea that you have a quick spattering from the high-end equipment available. And it's about that time you also hear a high-altitude jet begin to fly above, passing over your location quickly.
We've got to move.
Yeah, that would make sense. I suppose whoever shot us down would know where we went down.
I'm going to start climbing out of this rig. Getting the fuck out of here. At least trying to help people climb out if, I know David's a little bit...
Yeah, I'll take
got some stuff, and I'll help Crit get Blue down and out if she...
Yeah.
Blue is still currently unconscious.
Cool. Awesome.
Do you think we're better off just... I mean... What, are we going to drag her around, or what? Would it be better to leave her and come back for her?
Pause, move over towards Crit, and kind of this, clutch of medical supplies. You see her kind of sifting through your little basket of pilfered goods, kind of reaches in and pulls one of the plastic sealed syringes out, shakes it kind of quickly in front of you. I know what Blue would want me to do. I'll be right behind you.
Can I take note of the look of the packaging and syringe of everything that she just pulled out?
Make an effort to apply your first aid here, please.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let that go. Nope.
11.
This is a epinephrine injection.
All right.
So you see paws begin to move over towards Blue, checking her form over as you see Taurus just outside the helicopter, extending a hand out, trying to assist in providing a low impact departure from the helicopter door. And probably about 10 to 15 seconds later, you hear this. What the fuck? And you see Blue sitting straight up on the medical gurney that's sort of affixed to the opposite side of the helicopter. The straps, restraints now removed. Kind of surprised looking at everybody. This wasn't the plan, I take it, right? Okay, good. Good. Sorry! And you see Blue kind of fighting off the gurney, paws helping her forward as she dismounts from the helicopter, Taurus assisting her on the ground as well. One hand kind of clutched on her side, but otherwise looking very frazzled, overly alert almost, you could say.
Okay.
All right. So where's this drop?
Glitch finally kind of coming back to address the group. We were getting close, but it's going to be another 8 blocks. We're going to have to get there on foot with what we've got.
Great.
Cool.
I think we can manage. Just if I can lean on Taurus or something, that'd be great. So I don't slow anybody down.
And you see Blue kind of just having separated from Taurus. They both kind of look at you like, yeah.
We can like form a chain.
I've got you.
Stick with me,
David. Taurus can shoot and like do all kinds of like badass shit, I'm assuming. So I am less useful and I've got more medical training. So how about I will be your crutch for right now.
I humbly accept your offer. Thank you, Crit.
Who's got ammo left?
I don't even have a gun.
A little.
And you see Taurus kind of unholster or sort of unwrap his rifle from around his shoulder, presses it towards you, David. You got 6 left. Make them count. I have a half mag left in the pistol.
Yeah, you got it.
If you're not very mobile, drop down, kick the legs out. Don't miss.
Real quick. So the helicopter's down. We also had a fuel tank in there and everything. Is there any way I can kind of quickly set that to explode in a few minutes?
Trying to scuttle the helicopter.
Yes.
Make an effort to apply your sciences, please.
While this is happening, I'm just gonna kind of gesture to David and, you got that gun? Can I, you got another one of those little slicey hook things? Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I got a couple of these hooks. Yeah, you can have one.
I'll take one of those and keep
Okay. Okay. With the most rudimentary of ignition sources, you have a combined sort of a dampening and diffusion system using fabric, trying to get an approximation as to how quick it will burn, applying just the littlest splashes of water here and there to try and slow the actual creep, leaving this tail just dangling off the edge of the helicopter, trying to ignite the entirety of the fabric on the way up as it hangs over the ledge before slowly burning its way into the interior, ending in a confined space, currently protruding out a great deal of fuel fumes.
If y'all motherfuckers don't want to get blown to shit, I suggest we like fucking move right the fuck now.
I'm already walking. I don't want to be anywhere near that.
It's a good idea. And you see Glitch throw this small visor over one of her eyes. A mouthpiece quickly drops down. Who do I have online? And you hear Taurus kind of shifting erratically. Yeah, I still got one. He pulls out a walkie before kind of tucking it back in a pocket. Anyone else? Rose. Rose, come in. Okay, let's move. And immediately in front of Glitch, this sort of hovering drone kind of decloaks directly in front of her and begins navigating probably about 5 feet above her head and about 5 feet in front as she begins to take forceful steps forward. Blue, turning to you, Crit. You were into the brain types, right?
I mean, yes, but comparatively also yes.
Actually fair. It's actually fair. You've been hanging out with them for a little bit. All right. I need you to do me a favor, would you?
So,
Taurus is gonna help us move forward, okay? David's gonna provide long-range assistance. You're gonna jump in the middle and you're gonna make sure nothing comes in between us, all right?
like, you want me to like resurrect a fucking force field or some shit? How the fuck you expect me to do that?
He pulls out this tiny little pistol that probably could fit in one of your sort of like small front jean pockets. You know, plant a few daisies if you need to. Just
She gave me a fucking noisy cricket?
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see, right? And then she turns and leans to fold herself back on Taurus's form as they begin to pursue Glitch as well.
Oh, cool. I guess we'll bring up the rear. That's fine. We got it.
Yeah, as we're walking, I'll kind of just since Crit's helping me, I'll just kind of lean over and be like, "Hey, if you feel more comfortable with a knife, I'll take the gun from you. But you know, they're useful in a pinch, lightweight."
I mean, I feel more comfortable with a microphone or a pen, but I mean, I guess if shit comes to it, I can just point and pull the trigger and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, it's fair. Well, if you decide you'd rather have a knife, let me know, and I'll just kind of pull out one of those fancy knives that I got from Gemini, like twirl it once, and then just stick it back in the pocket.
Y'all is the weirdest tactical team fucking ever, yo.
It's because we're not a.
There's nothing tactical about
We're not
this.
a tactical team. Yeah, it's fine. Let's get where
Pause,
we're going.
moves in front of you, David, a final assessment of the leg, seemingly looking pleased with her work, and then almost with a bit of a joyful giddy glee begins to kind of jog quickly to catch up with Taurus and Blue, looking to maintain some kind of monitoring over Blue's situation and condition for the time being. And your group begins navigating forward. The immediate vicinity surrounding the helicopter crash is not particularly packed, but as you hear this flyby once more, it quickly disappears. The sound of helicopters buzzing around the periphery returning once more. And then you hear the telltale report. A rocket fire immediately moving your approximate direction with no generalized focus, your presence having separated from the helicopter, seemingly unknown, but as it strikes the helicopter now behind you, you see this erupting fireball and a pair of helicopters swarming above the area. As you begin to navigate away from the space, the additional noise now drawing more Zerk to your location, undoubtedly. Is the group looking to move quick, or is the group looking to move quiet?
I'm moving quietly.
I want to move quickly. They're already. I mean, we just had a huge explosion behind us, so they already know we're here.
But if they
Zerk
don't
and
know
living.
where here we are, like that is helpful.
I mean, I'm kind of holding up another person, so I don't think quickly is in the cards.
That's fair. That's fair. We're moving slower than I would like, but I will stay with the party.
So
Okay,
long as
so-
we're under like overpasses and canopies and stuck into buildings and stuff, so they don't know where we are, I think we're doing just fine.
Everybody,
that's
please
true.
make an effort to utilize your grace.
Seven.
0.
Oh, well.
That is almost max roll.
That's a 5.
Okay. So, the party begins navigating forward, looking to try and circumvent the approaching hordes that are now amassing, the density continuing to increase as you stick to alleyways, looking to duck under awnings, providing these temporary windows of reprieve where this scattered train of people are spread out over the course of 60 feet, all trying to find these tiny little pockets where you can isolate yourself from view for the briefest of moments. The Zerk continuing to draw near, trying to be quiet enough to not draw any additional attention. The source of the original noise that drew them nebulous enough that upon getting close, they're simply unable to determine where it is and are now looking for some kind of generalized stimuli. The helicopters throwing their directionality off, and all of you moving through the streets as quietly as possible. I'm going to say that you get about halfway in a open street, looking to duck and hide in between awnings when a spotlight begins sweeping through the center of the street. A focused laser light in the early morning hours, looking to remove the shadows of obscurity, perhaps frozen like the deer would be in headlights, or simply not able to find a viable option. All of you would turn to see Crit standing in the middle of the street, looking for cover to seek out as you see the helicopter flying over, the spotlight kicking back and lingering as if to focus on his form. A very clear and telltale recognition. And as the helicopter passes, there is a burst from one of the windows. Crit, I need you to roll a d4, please.
Trey.
As you see this devastating spray of tracer bullets just barely illuminating the early dawn, one immediately running through the center portion of the street that seems to run up at least a portion of the form of Crit's body, perhaps just narrowly missing a massive hole that would be placed in the chest. You see a severe wound quickly throw him off balance as a lower abdomen shot seemingly throwing Crit to the ground. Does anyone want to do anything?
Can I go? Can I swing out to grab him as quickly as possible and drag him back under cover, but not... it doesn't really matter because they're going to see where I'm coming from, probably. Whatever is closest cover, and just drag his ass underneath something for a little bit of cover as fast as possible.
Lexi, please make an effort to use your physique. David and Esme, make an effort to notice for me, please.
7.
9.
Esme, the gunfire causing you to duck and cover, a perfectly natural and instinctual impulse. David, you too, but your mobility simply doesn't provide you enough mobility to remove yourself from the potential sight lines of harm that you're looking to get away from, and as a result, you're able to look down probably about a block and a half. You can see that the helicopter, as it was doing this flyby gunning from the window, has quickly stopped, and rappelling ropes are dropping out from the side.
Hey, can I see the front of the helicopter?
This would be facing away from you.
Facing away from me. Okay. All right. I'll just kind of shout then. We need to get out this block right now.
At this point,
sending people.
Crit, as you are on the ground holding this gunshot wound, you feel the back of your neck snatched as this drag from the back of your shirt forcefully rips you from the center of the street and quickly pulls you into cover. And immediately, as you come to a stop, your body sliding around like the Tokyo drift on the sidewalk before you're ultimately tucked into a small crevice between where a car is parked and the curb. You see Paws diving on you, immediately trying to make an assessment of the damage.
Can I assist with my own triage?
Make an effort to use your first aid in a desperate situation.
Ten.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 9.
With a decided focus and an understanding of the impact that shock and blood loss would bring in a devastating combination, trying to remain calm and provide assistance and cooperation with the assessment, Pause, a very practiced and experienced field triage operative, immediately begins looking at and assessing the wound. Well, I'm not going to lie, it's not good. It's not good. But if we can get to one of the ARC vehicles or transports, we should be able to patch you up. You can't stay here either way. This is going to hurt a great deal.
Yeah, it already does. I'm really trying to stay focused right now. Luckily, you can live with only one kidney, so...
And Lexi, you see Paws ripping off 2 packs of gauze basically at the same time. Instead of looking to apply them topically, kind of more or less wraps them around one of her fingers.
Yep, I know.
Just pulls out one of the sort of secure straps, kind of shifting her form, sort of runs it across your face. Right? And begins to sort of jam the gauze into the wound, a very emergency-oriented capacity of trying to staunch the blood flow. Crit, I will need you to make an effort to endure, please.
I swear.
Oh, yeah, sure. Get right on that. Oh, so that's a 7.
Okay. So as you are continuing to grit through the pain and bear it, you see Paws look at you, kind of quickly wiping some of the immediate sweat off of your forehead, sort of pulling your head forward. You will live. You have 90 minutes before your blood starts to turn black. And at that point, you will die of sepsis within another 30 minutes. So,
Sounds about right.
With any luck, they will have sent some high-end medical supplies as well as weapons.
Which means we need to get there sooner
Fingers crossed.
rather than later.
Yes, can someone carry Crit? I don't think it's best
God,
that he
get
keeps
over
his
here.
heart rate up.
I'm gonna try to. Ooh, but like you got like a. I'm gonna try to carry him in a way that is going to not slow me down too much, but also try to be mindful of the fact that he just got shot. But like I feel like like a fireman carry is probably one of the.
Okay.
Probably
So
the
I'm going to
best way
say
to
go
go about
ahead
it.
and make an effort to use your fitness for me, please. And Crit, I would like for you to harness all of your possible grit in this circumstance.
Ooh, all of my possible grit. That is a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crit, perhaps not overly capable in a very physical sense, seems to be bonding his mental prowess into his physical resolve, and at least for the moment is, with minimalistic grunts and groans, doing a decent job of keeping most of the blood inside his body for the time being. With that being the case, Glitch has already started moving. You have Taurus that's kind of raking up Blue, looking to try and get a little bit more leg underneath him, and they begin to move forward. It's time, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go! And he begins to charge forward with Blue. With
You're
Crit
doing
in
that
tow.
wrong. Shift him back. His center of gravity is too far forward. You're going to slow down. And I'm going to start walking around her and forward.
So helpful. So fantastic. I will adjust. And I'll
Okay.
follow as quickly as I can.
I will also follow and try to keep an eye out for the guys coming out of that helicopter who might be after us. I want to try to see if I can
Well, you're basically
make sure that we
moving
evade them.
towards them. But at this
Oh,
point,
in that
behind
case-
you is a collection of Zerk, and they now stand between you and your surplus high-end supplies.
Yeah,
With
okay,
that being
alright.
the case, you do see what appear to be 4 black-clad individuals rappelling out from the helicopter before it begins to fly forward and away. David, with being the only person to immediately have eyeline on this, is there any action you would like to take right away?
I would like to find a vehicle or a dumpster or something to brace myself against and start shooting at these individuals, because I'd rather have fewer of them.
The vehicle relatively close by, it's 2 curbside tires now stained with a spattering of Crit's blood, but now removed from that situation does provide you a pseudo SUV style vehicle. Parking your knee on the hood, trying to take weight off your leg, and throwing the tripod directly on top of the vehicle would provide you at least a stable base for the time being.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how many of these guys I can shoot before they get the idea and get out of harm's way.
Make an effort to be accurate, please.
How's a 12 do?
So a shot ringing out immediately. David on the reload, looking to send rounds down range. Roll a D4, please.
That's a 1.
So immediately winging the shoulder of one of the operatives down at the end of the block, as you see the rest of them quickly scatter, diving behind nearby cover. Immediately their forms kind of shifting and looking around as their tactical response team segues into hidden avenues. The shot individual slowly trying to kind of quickly move into something that represents at least vague cover to get out of David's fire line for the moment. At this point, you see Taurus kind of take Blue's arm from around his shoulders, set her down up against the building directly next to you, hands her a pistol, unsheathes his knife, and quickly ducks behind a car. What is everybody else looking to do in this moment?
I don't have a long range weapon, so I'm going to try to just find cover and carry Crit's ass with me.
I'm going with my cover.
Okay.
I'm also looking for cover, but I would love to not share a hidey hole. I would, if there's somewhere else I can duck, if it's a little further up or off to the side.
Esme and Lexi, please make an effort to notice for me.
Hate this already.
6.
Sorry.
Crit's warm blood providing a distraction as it runs down your back, and you already carrying this extra weight, making it difficult for you to shift around. You're finding a number of different pieces of cover. Abandoned cars litter the streets, and there are a lot of hard targets that would certainly stop a bullet at the right angle. Nothing jumping out to you as the tactically advantageous position. Esme, I will shoot you a whisper.
Well, if I can't find anything that is particularly advantageous, I will just go to whatever is closest and try to minimize our targetness by crouching a little bit. Just trying to stay as out of view as possible, even if it's not the most advantageous place to pull up.
As Taurus slams into the side of the vehicle, looking to cover himself up as well, quickly looking back at you, David, giving you a little bit of a nod, kind of showing you his knife. You see him immediately drop down to a crouch stance, walking on the balls of his feet forward along the cars that were abandoned along this roadside. Glitch quickly rolling in between the curb and two of the vehicles, pulling out the eye lens from directly in front to about 2 or 3 inches away. As you see it kind of drop down, quickly pulls out a data pad as you see her drone begin to fly and move forward. But following David's shot, the reactionary dive for cover. There's a brief pause, the sound of Zerk drawing closer and closer before a burst of gunfire from the operatives dropping down begins to ring towards all of your directions. Nobody immediately hit. There is very clearly a sense of directionality and understanding of your approximate location, and the gunfire coming your way beginning to riddle the cars lining the roadway surrounding your positions. Who would like to do what?
I'm gonna start. Crit's still kind of hoisted up. I'm gonna try to pat around and see if I can find that gun that he was given.
Okay, sure. We'll say that it's easy enough for him to try to cooperate with that process. Not entirely incapacitated. Yep.
And then as soon as I see somebody that is trying to murders us, I'm gonna take a shot.
Okay.
Still trying to kind of keep as much cover as possible.
Okay.
I also, I would have definitely taken an opportunity for the cover that I find, but I also am going to turn back and try and fire it in that direction.
Okay. I would like Lexi and Esme both to make an effort to be accurate. Crit is clinging to life. David, you are still mounted. You see that Pause is still very much nearby the vehicle, just having patched Crit up, and the cars along the roadside are being littered with bullets as these operatives attempt to try and make best their mission for the moment. What would you like to try and do?
So, as there's a moment, I'm still obviously trying to keep a line of sight, and if I see a good chance to take a shot at one of these guys, I will. But if there's a moment where there's like a lull in the gunfire, I would like to call out, we were coming to do the peaceful exchange y'all invited us to. It's really peaceful. Absolutely trust you now.
It seems as if the information or circumstances you're referencing are above their pay grade, or they are otherwise indifferent to such arrangements. For the time being, I would say you do have an exposed opportunity to return fire. Based on the definitive incoming fire, though, I'm going to first ask you to make an effort to focus.
Yeah, sure. That's a 12 for focus.
Okay.
And then on an accuracy, that's a 9.
So as the bullets coming your way are riddling the car that you are parked on top of, the glass shattering out with each additional bullet, you can feel the roof losing stability to support your weight and your lean. But there's a quick breath in, a slow breath out, and a hold as you have seen one of these individuals popping in and out, taking automatic shots. Looking for the right opportunity, another burst kind of comes forward, breaking another window, allowing you to take your shot. Please roll a d4.
That's a 2, and once my shot is off, I'll try to roll off and get behind the vehicle.
Okay. You hear the round go off. This loud kick from David's direction, this massive fire followed by this and the legs scampering back behind cover as if being dragged in a similar capacity to Crit from only moments ago. At this point, Taurus is making his way up past the midline of the distance between you two, still looking to remain low and slow as you see the drone beginning to move into the center of the street, taking gunfire from the operatives before having an opportunity to return fire as well. There is a burst that you see completely decimate this vehicle that's parked along the roadside. An additional exchange coming back against Glitch's drone, neither side seemingly incapacitating the other with that, with Taurus continuing to move forward. Esme, what was your effort for accuracy?
6.
Okay. So as Esme fires off, what weapon are you using currently?
Pistol.
Okay. So firing off this pistol, it seems as if it is one of many rounds of ammunition that are darting off the metal, glass, and sort of jungle of steel and obstruction that is directly in front of this expanse between the two of you, not seemingly finding purchase on any of your assailants for the moment. You continuing to draw closer, it seems as if Taurus is looking for a much more up-close fight. David, providing a significant hit on one, a minor hindering hit on another, as the operatives that yet remain continue to try and return fire. Is anyone looking to move in closer or
Did
stay
my
in
shot
cover?
hit?
Sorry, you rolled a...
7.
That was a 7. So yours was the guiding force that Esme was using as an approximate gauge, unable to actually find vital purchase on your assailants as well. Actually, as another burst comes through, I would like Esme. Yeah, Esme, Lexi, and Crit to roll a d4, please.
My diehard makes that a 0.
This is
It's
not
okay.
this is not a consequence roll. I need to know what your raw
Oh,
score
sorry.
was.
Just 1.
Just a 1. So you had a 1 rolled against you, Lexi. But with your die hard, the bullet that you actually feel smash into you, nearly shattering your forearm, seems to have lodged itself in the skeletal framework of the guns that you had recently been donning. A brutal impact and undoubtedly a bruise later on, but for the moment, far from lethal and providing you no immediate hindrances, as it seems to have also blocked what would have been a finishing blow on Crit, still mounted to your shoulders. David, as you roll off the hood, additional fire is coming towards your group. You see a spark shoot off of Lexi's arm, but the aggression and movement still continuing forward as Taurus looks to be nearly in position. What would you like to do?
Having rolled off of the vehicle, can I kind of post up, just like leaning on it heavily, knowing that if perhaps I get knocked back a little hard, I might lose my balance. I want to try to see if I can get a shot at the one that is farthest from where Taurus is currently trying to make his attack. See if we can be tactical here.
Make an effort to be accurate, please.
Yeah, that's it's a 10 total.
Roll a d4, please, David.
It's a 3.
Okay. This time, as you see one of your assailants pop up, there's this burst of gunfire that comes your way, and immediately you hear David rattle off another loud, telltale shot, and you see the operative fall back, disappearing behind one of the vehicles. Esme and Lexi in much closer proximity, sort of to the sort of sidewalk that you're all slowly progressing up this unconcerted, uncoordinated march forward. You see Taurus quickly flipping the grip on his knife as he is looming in proximity. And as you see Taurus leaning up against one of the cars, you see him stop, close his eyes for a brief moment, and quickly moves around the corner, this explosive speed, seeing him punch off of the back leg, almost hugging the vehicle as he wraps around the front bumper, the entire form looking to dive directly behind a knife attack, the original target that David had winged with a subtle shot, looking to take him down. They both disappear behind the car directly in front of you, and shortly thereafter the drone quickly swooping into position, letting out another burst of gunfire on the opposite side of the street. Desperate fire now coming back from the surrounding environment where Taurus is, but you hear Glitch yell out from one of her sort of tucked away hidey holes behind everybody, "Scratch 2! Scratch 2!" I'm going to say Esme and Lexi, you two are the only ones in position that would be able to see. As you see Taurus rearing back from the ground, looking to make a follow-up strike on his adversary, the remaining operative for ARC is coming around the corner, looking to line up with Taurus's position. There'll be a brief opportunity for you to potentially try and intervene before Taurus is in a desperate situation.
I'm gonna... Oh no, I've got crit on my back. God dang it. No, I'll just take the shot. No, you know what? F it. Hey! Hey! And I'm gonna try to just jar him a little bit. Just a little bit, and take the shot. A little hesitation to make my shot easier, you know? Hey, bitch.
Make
Over
an
here.
effort to use your threat.
Oh my god, I've never gotten to do that before. That's a 10.
And make an effort to be accurate in a desperate situation.
Can I also be well prepared because I'm badass?
Not today.
Okay. That's only a 4.
Okay. You are able to distract the assailant coming around the corner, and instead of lining up on Taurus's sprawled form, you see Taurus's form plunge down, finishing the follow-through on his initial assault. Looking at you, a shot popping off digging itself into the exterior frame of the car in between the two of you. Instinctually ducking down, there is almost this face-to-face realization as Taurus and this remaining operative assailant are now staring directly at one another. And in the isolated capacity that they have, you would see Taurus leap forward, attempting to provide some type of resistance. However, the quick shift in form does see an additional spray of gunfire from in front of the vehicle where Taurus is currently located. I'll let Lexi roll for Taurus. Roll a d4, please.
Do my specialties come in handy for Taurus?
They do not.
Keep reading. Has a 3.
So as the spray of gunfire bursts out, you see Taurus's arm flop back against the curb, the knife rolling from his hand. The rest of his form out of view, but incapacitated for the moment, it would seem. Esme and Lexi. I'm going to say Lexi has already attempted to intervene. Esme and David, you'll have an opportunity to try and apply an effort here if you'd like.
I think my instinct was probably that I was going to try to shoot again, but when Lexi shouted, I think that startled me a bit as well. I probably ducked back out of the way. So I am trying to wait until I hear the gunfire stop.
Okay. And David, are you looking to do anything?
I'll take a shot.
Sure.
That's a 10.
Go ahead and roll a d4, please.
That right there is a 4.
So as you see the assailant quickly lean back around the corner, seemingly no longer concerned with Taurus's form, the assailant is there for a brief moment before a neck-snapping jar sees the entirety of their body ripped back, ending up somewhere on the ground, likely near Taurus's. Warrior, go ahead and roll a d6 and send it to me.
I'm going to start hobbling forward, and as I do, just towards Pause. Hey, go take a look at Taurus, please. We need to get out of here.
And you see Pause beginning to sprint forward, almost kind of doing a bit of a slide towards the front end of the vehicle, poking around cautiously, looking back at you for the briefest of moments, kind of giving you a thumbs up before circling around the corner. For the moment, the ARC operatives dispatched from the helicopter lay dead or dying, and the Zerk from behind now continuing to encroach on your position. What are you all looking to do?
Probably, I mean, how far are we from our destination? We're only a few blocks now, right?
A few blocks at
we
this
got
point.
about, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna run around as low as I can and see what is happening with Taurus and Pause. Is this a wait situation, or is this a we're moving on situation? That's what I'm trying to assess.
Coming around the corner, go ahead and make an effort to use your first aid, please.
Okay. 12.
It seems as if he has sustained multiple gunshot wounds one caught directly in the chest and seemingly stopped by his armor. The other underneath the side plate, probably just punching through the edge of his ribs. He'll have difficulty breathing, probably won't be able to do any long breaths for stable distance shots, but can probably still fight on, maybe even a little bit more effectively than Crit if he's tough for the moment. On that note, I would also like to have Crit please make an effort to endure for me.
Yep. That is an 8.
Okay. Despite the calamity around you and the absolute eruption of chaos, you're still maintaining a level of cognitive focus and awareness of what's taking place, and are able to kind of continue to apply generalized pressure to the wound, maintaining and controlling the weight of your form to try and keep pressure up against Lexi's back despite all of this erratic movement. For the moment, there is nothing immediately ahead of you, but very, very quickly you will be set upon by the horde behind as you see Taurus slowly try and clamber up to his feet. Awful shot. Terrible. Did you see how close I was? Can't believe he missed. And you see him turn and begin to move back towards the sidewalk, picks up his knife and just cleans it off on his vest, tucks it back away again. I found my knife. And begins to slowly amble forward.
Let's keep walking, T. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Blue at this point is kind of holding Taurus up, and they're sort of leaning into each other as they're trying to stagger forward.
Yeah. Onward, we need to get there quickly. Because
I'll have all of you
time is
please
of the essence now.
make an effort to use your physique, except for obviously Crit won't be doing a lot of running. Do make an effort to harness your grit during this increased pace, though.
That's a 5 for grit.
Okay.
It's a 6.
Hi.
That's a 2. That's about as good as I can do with a broken leg, but it's a 2.
That's fair.
A very familiar sound to you, David, at this point at least. You hear this screech coming from behind and turn to see, cutting through the dense swath of Zerks ambling behind you, this bounding Zerk that seems to be knocking over and cutting through some of the crowd as you are all running forward. Doing your best to simply hobble and continue to push forward. You are being chased down aggressively, the slowest in the pack by far. Pause, turning around, seeing what's directly in front of the back end, quickly sprints towards you. We'll try to be fast together, and grabs you and begins to try and push you forward. Neither one of you the most adept at the moment with trying to outrun this hunter that is in hot pursuit. You hear the mauling claws kind of kicking and clicking into the hard sidewalk, closer and closer as you pull within about a block's distance. This guttural scream and shout as you almost hear it take off from the ground. As you are almost bracing for the inevitability of the moment, a loud burst of gunfire from the street nearby sees 2 operatives putting fire downrange behind you. And with a guttural sort of shouting scream, there's this brief moment where the hunter kind of riles on the ground for a moment as 2 operatives step towards you, wearing all dark gear. Come on, let's go. And you see one of them quickly turn and run, the other, shorter, more compact feminine form, pulling a balaclava off to reveal a long, ill-maintained two-tone dye that seems to have grown out due to necessity for some time now. A concerned look, a hesitant pacing as her eyes dart back and forth across all of the operatives in their various states of damage. A small submachine gun tethered to her vest and a pistol immediately tucked directly above her sort of breast pane on her tactical gear. This must be the operative Rose that everybody is talking about.
Not gonna run away from me this time, are you? Okay. Fair. That's fair.
As much as I appreciate the save, some of us are bleeding heavily here, and just as a side note, can somebody get me a finger from that big ass Zerg that y'all just took down?
No, we're leaving.
How much blood has he lost already?
It's for science.
I'll get a finger from it.
Thank you.
Okay. You remind me of someone I used to know, but also not at all. Come on, let's move. And you see operative gear beginning to move forward, quickly throwing an arm underneath Blue's form. I got her. Let's go. Is anybody doing anything else right away?
Just following, trying to get where we're going.
With
While
additional fire put down behind you, providing a little bit more of a spacer from some of the pursuing Zerk, you see Glitch stop, drop the eye laser down, kind of immediately seeing this drone settle, petting it like a favored dog almost for a brief moment before giving it a couple quick pats. And you see it moving back behind you, looking to push and pursue the opposite direction. Another burst of gunfire seeming to rip out from the drone, providing whatever last bit of cover with the ammunition it has left. Pushing forward yet another block, there is a isolated pocket, what probably looked to be some kind of salvage or auxiliary parking lot for some kind of car garage. Sees 3 crates, parachute draped over them, and a smattering of dead ARC operatives all around. They got here first. We had to reallocate the permissions for procurement here. Get what you need. And you see gear pushing forward, ripping the top of the parachute off and beginning to throw the lids open, reaching inside, pulling out this long assault rifle. Yeah, that's the stuff. Okay. What do y'all want? It's Christmas. Pause. We got lucky. High-end med drop for you too.
Some of that. I want some of that.
Yeah, I'll move over that direction. I'll hand Crit his hunter finger as requested. Look over the medical stuff. Go, I don't know jack shit about that. And I'm gonna go for all of the long-range, high-powered weapons that I can find.
I'm looking for anything that is closer range. I mean, I will return the pistol to Crit once we're all kind of settled in a place. But I am looking for anything that might be more for me, which is I want to punch some faces in with my fists.
Okay. Checking it all out, there is what appears to be a definitive and like almost purpose-built, as if they knew Taurus was on mission, a full ammo resupply for his long rifle, 2 backup pistol weapons, both bearing silencers as well. Lexi, you'd find a full resupply for your exo framing, looking to attach them to your existing framework if you'd like to do that as well. You can return to having 8 shots for your pistols.
Yes.
As far as melee weapons, there are basic tactical gear, but otherwise there is what appears to be a drop clutch of pistols and small submachine gun style weapons.
I'll replenish my shots, and I'll if everyone else is armed, I will grab a pistol just as a little extra backup.
Okay. Gear is digging through the boxes at this point. Actually, wow. 19 with the high-end medical equipment, the emergency triage materials, as well as additional sustaining and sort of fortifying agents. Pause takes a second look now with proper material involved, perhaps the best work that she is capable of in any regard. There's actually a couple very loose augmented stitches, not to really stop the blood flow, but to keep the wound largely closed. Perfect packing as this hose is slid in and filled with this isolating foam, immediately expanding but not opening the wound any wider. Almost a perfect plug that will buy you a great deal of time for a proper surgery theater. You don't feel great. There's definitely a bullet in you. And you have septic shock to potentially be concerned about from the moment the blood flow has been stopped. You are not going to experience any ulterior effects from continued blood loss. Does everybody have whatever equipment they feel they are best prepared for?
If I can have a moment, can I like just kind of reach up, grab Paws by the back of the head and just whisper something in their ear, which you will see on your whispers.
How much ammunition does this pistol have? I don't know how guns work.
So 8. Your exosuit has 8 shots.
No, if a pistol. If I took a pistol, how many shots does a pistol have?
Oh, it's going to be a standard 15.
15. Use standard, which I totally know.
Full size handheld.
A pistol, just to have in case I need something extra for a little close range instead of this long rifle. But I'll leave the silenced ones for someone who might be not giving away their position every time they take a shot.
With that, as you're whispering this sweet nothing into Paw's ear, you find your shoulder kind of quickly jerked back as Operative Gear is looking at you. You did good. You did real good. Here. And throws a small box directly in the sternum of your center here, sending this jarring discomfort through your already traumatized midsection. Science guy, right?
That's what they're saying.
Have fun with that. And he turns and begins to move forward.
People? I want to look at the science thing that he just gave me.
It's a small sort of like ammo canister box, maybe about a foot and change long, maybe about 8 or so inches wide. Opening it up, there appears to be 2 grenades packed into one side of it, and the remaining 3/4 of it lined with plastic Semtex.
Oh, okay, that kind of day. All right.
Is there anything in this cache, like anything powdered or salt or anything of that nature?
How do you mean?
Anything. I know what I'm dealing with, and I know that I need something that's going to help me see people who don't want to be seen.
Okay.
Paint, powder, anything.
I'll say that there's probably a cauterizing agent that would be in the medical kit. not made for wounds as big as crits would be, but certainly enough to at least give you a handful if you wanted to quick scatter it across your view pane.
Okay. I will take that and look at gear, I guess. This is it? This is all we got?
She knows you're coming, yeah. We're not in good shape.
Yeah.
Which one of you is a badass?
I just point at Lexi.
No shit.
Crazy.
All right. You're with me. We're going to get us a ride out of here.
All right.
Taurus, you
Sounds
alive? And you see Taurus kind of still leaning on Blue a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm alive. Blue kind of looking up at him. I don't know. I think he's full of shit. All right. We're with you. And you see Taurus kind of straighten up. Pause is coming over and putting some of the final touches on. And we have a hype train going here. Oh, Pause is rolling fire tonight.
Yay, pause!
Thank goodness.
You
For
see
good night to do it.
Taurus kind of give this big stretch, almost kind of extending his midsection after being hunched and running for a brief moment in time. Kind of, oh, you're too good to me. Let's go. David, you good to get around enough? You can take shots with that.
Yeah, that should be fine. I mean, unless if you want to babysit, I'll hang out with you.
You see him kind of just reach over to the boxes, eeny, meeny, miny, yeah, and just reaches in. Yeah. Pulling out like a submachine gun. I'll cover you. You're gonna have to take a shot on this one.
Yeah, anytime.
We'll invest in the box seats, baby. Don't worry, Rose. We'll watch out for you. And you see.
Just for the record, I'm going to turn to David. We didn't run. We had things to do. And I'm going to turn my back and start walking away.
You thought she ran? Fucking idiot. Let's go. And Taurus kind of slowly limping forward. Glitch and Blue sort of standing, talking to one another as Blue seems to be at least a little bit up more with it. Now having rearmed herself with an assault rifle, a small sawed-off shotgun now tucked into the side of the already tattered and destroyed pants that she's got on still. Both of them immediately kind of turning to you, Crit. You're not dying now, right? You're good? You're alive? You're gonna live?
I'm dying as much as everybody else is, but
and you see Blue kind of put her hand on Glitch's chest like, are you gonna live? Are you all right?
For the time being, yes.
See?
And with that,
it's a tone thing.
I want to walk away from them and go and inspect the crates and pull out any kind of like wiring, electronics, batteries, anything like that I can salvage.
There is a full 50-foot spool of wire, and there's also the blasting caps you likely would have needed for the detonation. Go ahead and make an effort to use your sciences for me.
Yay, science.
We are well prepared as well.
Oh shit. That is a 13.
Okay. Grabbing the appropriate blasting caps, easily able to sort of segregate the individual wires, providing an understanding of what gauge you'd likely want to employ here and how to hook them up. It seems as if without too much trouble, it would take you a short bit of time, but you would have access to a ready supply of detonatable Semtex, at least one of them at 50 feet range if you need to.
And I would also like to just kind of snag any like nuts, bolts, nails, metal bits, ball bearings, anything like that I can just possibly
not
shove
a lot
into
in the way
pockets.
of random smatterings. I'll say from the surrounding junk, you're able to grab some kind of scattered debris, kind of the peckings of a nail bomb from a couple of the crumbled car bodies that are still nearby.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for. All right, I'm good.
At this point, Gear looks to you, Rose. Kind of steps in close. I'm going to say Crit and David. Oh no, because Lexi was with Gear as well. So I'll have all of you go ahead and make an effort to notice if you would like. You are still well prepared for this.
8.
11.
7.
Okay. So Crit and David, you would both just overhear on a bit of a floaty breath, Gear kind of leaning in, looking to speak almost directly into Rose's ear, leaning down to her comparably smaller form. Are you going to tell him or what?
I think it's better if we just get there and do what we need to do. Just don't look at him.
Or you could tell us.
There's
Who are
something
you?
we need to know. Seems like the last time you neglected to tell us something, a whole bunch of folks died.
You could have gone on your merry way.
You know, we could have, but decided
Speaking
to
of
take
Mary
you and
Way,
your
wasn't
folks
there
in.
one more of you?
You mean the blonde one that ran off?
Look,
I
I
don't
don't know
give a
what
shit.
kind of.
We need to run soon too, though. You know,
Is Esme gone?
Esme is no longer
God dang
present
it.
or around.
She said, bye.
She pieced out. Wow.
Okay.
I was gonna look at them and like I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. What is going on here? If you got shit that I need to know because I'm out here risking my goddamn life for you motherfuckers, then you better start flapping them gums.
Confidential mission parameters. Lexi, are you with me or not?
Fuck your confidential. I'm out here holding a goddamn can of Semtex.
Yeah? I gave it to you. The reason you can still hold it is because our team patched you up.
The reason I got shot is because your team dragged my ass out
All
here.
right, we're wasting
Yeah,
time.
potato. All right.
Stop. Just stop. We are going to make an even exchange. That's all. I'm getting something that I need, and they're getting something that they need.
Synthesizer. Is that right?
Yes. But we don't have a lot of time.
Do me a favor there, Mr. Science. Wire up one of those explosives for me if you could.
Please?
He wants you to say please.
You see Gear kind of look at Rose. Please wire me up an explosive.
I got you, fam.
Fucking hate him, Rose. I hate him. Let's go. And Gear begins moving forward, pushing towards the stadium, known to be just a couple blocks away.
I'll follow.
Is anybody doing anything else before the additional movement takes place?
I'm gonna walk and wire.
Okay.
As Taurus and I are kind of heading our separate way, I'm just gonna lean in. So, is Poppy just not available today, or elsewhere?
What do you mean?
Well, normally, right, like Rose and Poppy, they're together, and then I feel like we're one short. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's not for us to worry about, so.
Okay, all right, sure. And the reason that y'all, like, I know I'm going way back here, and the reason that y'all, like, separated from Ark is because, like, there was information being withheld, and it was leading to y'all, like, doing some shit that you disagreed with ethically. Are we falling down that same path now, you feel like?
David, pull your shit, all right? And you're all continuing to sort of navigate a very limited and kind of sparse collection as you do eventually arrive outside the stadium. There's this sort of small amassing directly outside the exterior. Me and David will take the box seats. Rose, dugout entrance I think is still available. Lexi and Gear, if they're gonna be here, it's gonna be through the supply entrance. Let's get our shit out. And well, pause. You talk to Science Guy because I don't know what the fuck they said over the radio anyway. Come on, Dave, let's go. And you see Rose kind of quickly, not looking to address more or less any of the exchange. Gear kind of tapping you on the shoulder with the butt of his assault weapon. You ready for this?
Is anyone ready for anything? Let's just fucking go.
Oh,
Let's
all
go.
right, sure, yeah. And Pause looks to you, Crit. So, I've been given to understand there is a small complication with the exchange meant to take place. We are going to be purged from ARC's registries. We will not be targeted anymore. But in case the deal does not go well, it is standard procedure to provide a great deal of explosives to protect exit and extraction. We'll need your help defusing them.
Yeah. The fuck y'all got me out here doing?
Blue and Glitch will provide fire cover. I will make sure you do not die from... well, if you explode, you will probably die. I cannot fix that. But I will fix everything else. Unless you lose a hand or a limb or something, that I cannot do that. That is beyond medicine. It's really sort of a widely understood thing, so I hope this is not a surprise to you at all. Good, we're ready. And you see Glitch kind of rolling her eyes as she begins to sort of navigate in, pulling out a pair of dual-wielding pistols. Blue taking steps forward, kind of leading the charge with the rifle. Crit, are you following with them, or are you looking to take alternative action?
Nah, I'm gonna go. I'm the only one that can do this shit, so apparently I'm in this ride or die, so I'm gonna just look down at the can of high fucking explosives that they just handed me and be like, fuck it.
Lexi, as you and Gear navigate towards the side entrance where most of the transport would take place, you do see a series of 3 helicopters lined up, one next to another, with about a dozen or so operatives seemingly stationed around. All right, one of those is our ride. Honestly, I thought there'd be more. I like our chances. And you see him pull the hammer back to cock the rifle. By the way, this is going to be troublesome, just so you're clear.
Thank you. I had no idea. I appreciate the warning.
Well, I wasn't trying to suggest that you didn't know. I mean, look, we're substantially outnumbered. This is very obvious stuff. I'm saying, there's going to be... just don't lose your shit. That's all I'm saying. You been shot before?
Not recently, but I did get caught in a bear trap and hit by a chainsaw, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fine.
I had one prick shoot me twice, so it's not that bad. Trust me.
You probably deserved it, so that checks out.
That feels unfair. And you see him immediately rise his rifle up and begin dipping around the corner. David, as you and Taurus eventually sort of scaling the back entryway through, there is a quiet interior before Taurus shoulder checking a number of the doors. One of them has just enough give. You see him kind of throw this thundering kick forward. Taurus's form easily able to kick it open. You're sweet, Monsignor. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, I'll take Bud Light.
You got fucking legs. What?
They don't even have it here, I'm sure. They've already had someone ransack. They're just making a joke.
Get a scope on the field. I'm gonna watch out for you, okay?
I appreciate it. Hey, you feeling okay?
No. No. Are you kidding?
Alright.
I got a bullet in me, David.
Should have stole one of Crit's Snickers, I think.
Bullet. A sticker?
Snicker. You should have stole one of Crit's Snickers.
And what's that gonna do? I'm just gonna plug it up with a candy bar?
Nah, you'd eat it, you feel better.
Oh, that's probably true, actually. I mean, I can't even... Yeah. Look, if you scope up on the field now, you'll see why we're here.
Yeah. I'll go set up and take a look.
And Taurus begins kind of opening his vest pocket. Don't Nah, she's fine. Everybody gets shot from time to time, right? Like, if I could have helped it, I wouldn't have gotten shot, right?
Why are you?
You
I just
know,
don't want to, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces that I'm trying to consider here, but
it's all of our times. Yeah. I had a bullet in me. You got a bullet in you.
oh yeah, that's right, you got shot too. Sorry.
We hey, look, sometimes you get shot. I think the real question is, what do you do after you get shot?
Hey, baby girl. Just giving it a shot. We're about to die anyway, you know what I mean? Operative Rose?
Oh, you were talking to me?
Nope.
I'm making my way towards the dugout, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm trying to keep as low profile as possible, but am I seeing any of the individuals stationed as I'm making my way?
I'd say David and Taurus are very purposefully designed to be hidden in their form. Crit, Glitch, and Blue and Paws are looking to almost go underneath the facility, and Lexi and Gear are taking a position outside the facility.
Right. What do you need? Over the intercom.
Sorry, I just wanted to let you know we were in position. Over.
Fine, thank you. I'll be there in a minute.
Got eyes on you. I'll be watching out for you.
No response.
David, Taurus moves up next to you, sits the walkie down next to you as you're beginning to sort of line the rifle up and out, probably just into the outfield behind second base. There seems to be a human form, bag over their head, down on their knees, a slight slouch, seemingly standing there alone. That's why we're here, buddy.
As a doctor?
No. And you begin to see Rose take these slow and measured steps from the dugout, moving across the field. Rose, as you approach and see this form knelt on the ground just between second base and the outfield, do you have any specific efforts you would like to make?
I am doing my best to keep my eyes trained on the figure that's knelt, but if I can sneak some periphery glances, I want to see if I see any indentations in the dirt or the grass near this figure, any indication that they are not alone.
Make an effort to notice.
10.
there is a completely undisguised, almost overt and casual individual that you can see off in the stands. Probably a good 100 or so feet off the field, leaning against a chair, feet directly up in this relaxed and reclined posture, and a rather large rifle propped on his thigh, the barrel sticking up just back behind his head, seemingly watching you walk across the field. No immediate telltale measure of footprints or movement or anything that would denote a secondary person in close proximity, but certainly one making no secret about their presence and observing whatever's taking place.
Okay. I'll approach. I'm going to stop probably about 5 or so feet away. I'm not going to walk all the way up. I will pause for just a moment.
And from this sourceless void, that's far enough. I told you I'd bring her here alive, and I have.
Let me see her face.
You haven't had a mirror lately.
Let me see her face.
Show me hands.
I
Where's the
will
pistol?
raise 2 empty hands. I would have left the larger gun in the dugout.
Okay.
So my hands are empty.
So the pistol that's attached to your front, though, she would specifically be calling out to have you remove.
Oh, I would have removed that from sight before. Yeah, I would not walk out armed. So the larger one, I don't have a good place to stow it. I'm going to leave it in the dugout. The smaller one, I will obscure if I can either slide it into a waistband, into the side of my bra, wherever I got to hide it.
Okay. A quick and cursory glance sees Operative Vapor perhaps give a pass and doesn't notice the unusual bulk or heft where your pistol has been slid away. And bleeding across Poppy's kneeling form, a cloud of smoke billowing down that seems to remove this hooded form, and there a tattered, bruised, beaten Poppy. Are you happy?
I'm going to look down at Poppy and lock eyes with her until I get that. It's not even a nod. It's almost imperceptible, like the flutter of a single eyelash to let me know that she's okay.
There's decided, notable, observable damage. One of the eyes definitely swollen, clearly. Had a rough go of it and was putting up a fight through that process, but it seems as if she's alive and not in any immediate danger of death for the moment. And then after a brief moment, you see Vapor return the bag over Poppy's head. Now, he pulls out a pistol and points it towards the back of Poppy's head. Where is my synthesizer?
I will pull it out of my pocket.
For you to tell me, oh, look how
I'm not going to make this difficult.
That's not what your report says, but all right.
Well, if you'd read it closely, you would have known you played the right hand.
Well, I'm just glad that nothing more had to come of this. Set it down.
I'll set it down.
Back up.
I will take a half step back. I'm not moving my hands, so they're still kind of like in front of me to a degree. I am not moving out of range of smashing this fucking thing until you get her off her knees and start walking her off the field. I walk when she walks.
What card do you think you have to play here? This whole building is teeming with ARC operatives. There's absolutely no one here to help you that can challenge us. There is nothing you have over power. It is my mercy and goodwill that is allowing you to leave here with your sister's life. Step back.
I'm holding my position. Vapor, you have an entire stadium of people, I assume, for just little old me? For just this?
We know it's never just little old you, is it? Ever. I don't think it could be. Where are they? They looking at us now?
You mean all the operatives you murdered? Probably not.
All right. And you see her begin to work her way around Poppy's form, kind of holding the gun towards the side, angling towards the front. Step away from my synthesizer, take your sister, and go.
Is Poppy standing now?
Yeah, slowly able to get up. Clearly not super agile on her own for the moment, but...
Okay. If she stands, I'll take another half step back.
And you hear in your earpiece, Rose, are we going? Are we not going? Make the call. While you are staring down Vapor's uncloaked form, Poppy's life very much in the balance. Outside, there is a cacophony of gunfire erupting as Lexi and Gear are looking to fight for control of a helicopter. As you are charging into the fray, looking to advance upon your assailants, as Gear immediately took 2 shots, downing 2 operatives who were stationary and unaware of their location. Communication, not a strong suit of his for sure, but effective with his approach nonetheless. What would you like to try and do, Lexi?
I actually would like to, I'm gonna try to split up a little bit, give us both a little bit of space. He is a trained operative. I'm hoping they're gonna aim for him first, and while they're doing that, I can catch a few of them from a different position. And I'm just going to, if I can find a place to kind of hunker down, I'm gonna try to just listen and fist shots.
Okay.
Fist
Go
bullets.
ahead and make a pair of efforts to be accurate, please.
That'll be a 13 and a 11 and 11.
Okay. So roll 2d4s for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a 4 and a 1.
Okay. Immediately downing one of the assailants standing next to the helicopter, quickly thinning through their ranks as Gear is also making very short work of catching the operatives off guard. There is a immediate sense of return fire from a still pretty extensive battery of operatives that is sent your way. I need you to roll a d4 against, please.
Oh man. Okay. Die Hard will make that a 3 instead of a 4.
So as you are jumping up from behind cover, immediately firing off a pair of shots, both of them causing damage, one more than the other with your dominant hand. There's this brief hesitation where it feels like your effectiveness has this inspiring sting before you feel your body jerk.
Shit.
And ripping into your lung on one side, a bullet burying itself deep within.
Shit.
I need you to make an effort to endure, please.
10.
Okay. Able to drag yourself behind cover and try to make an assessment of the damage. Make an effort to utilize your first aid, please.
At max, that'll be a 3.
Your shot. It's
Yeah.
quickly growing
bleeding.
hard to breathe.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have a good idea of how to go about fixing it other than applying pressure to the wound. And for the time being, you're going to have to hope that that's enough.
Sure. I'm going to try to, whatever I'm behind, if it's possible, I would like to try to crawl and kind of stay lower to the ground and see if I can sneak around the side of whatever I'm hiding behind instead of popping up top. And I'm going to...
Maneuvering through around behind a cement barricade. As soon as Gear sees you moving, kind of noticing that you took a shot, there's this brief moment of kind of contemplation, quickly trying to dart to take advantage of their focused fire. And as you begin to shift, there is this spray of gunfire back towards Gear, and he quickly spins on the run and disappears behind one of the concrete barriers.
Okay.
What would you like to try and do?
I'm still looking for shots and opportunities. I'm gonna kind of pause and see because if Gear fell down behind, I'm hoping he's okay. But I'm gonna again kind of wait and see if they're gonna let their guard down if we aren't returning fire immediately, and then I'm gonna try to take advantage of that if I can find a small window.
Probably roll a d4 for me.
Oh God. That's the best.
Okay. And as you are looking to try and get a lay of the land and put the pieces together, go ahead.
How many? 2?
Yep.
Those are both 10s.
Okay. Roll a pair of d4s for me as well.
Those are both 2s.
Okay. So debilitating shots, as it seems like Gear is still in the nebulous in-between behind the cover, the shot spinning him out of view and focus for a brief moment. As we return back up into the overhead seats, David, as you're focusing on this exchange and watching Rose take steps forward, you're seeing Taurus basically facing opposite your direction, pointing his weapon towards the door, kind of trying to sneak glances over his shoulder. What the fuck do you see? What's going on?
So I figured out why Poppy in here. Thanks for telling me. Sure appreciate that.
Look.
What's
going on?
Poppy's a hostage. And so they're in the process of doing an exchange here. Vapor's uncloaked right in the field. If I shot her right now, granted, there's like a shitload of other baddies around here, but we'd be rid of Vapor and Rose would have both Poppy and the synthesizer. Seems like a win. Should I just shoot him?
Is there another gun in the seats? Is there someone else in a hide?
I see one guy in the stands, I think, but he's not pointing a gun at her, so I could probably go 1-2 before he can get his gun out.
You want to take that shot and be wrong?
Well, here's the thing. Last time Rose and Poppy left me high and dry. We lost some folks, so I'm not about to throw them under the bus, but I feel like I would feel vindicated.
David, there's more at stake here than your fucking petty little schoolyard shit right now, okay? We need to make it out here with both of those pieces, all right? Poppy and Rose are the key. They're all we got right now, okay? They're the missing piece. Fuck. And you see him reach behind and snatch the walkie from in front of you. Rose, what's going on? What's the call? Are we doing this? How do you want us to do this? And as you hear Taurus kick into the walkie, you hear footsteps quickly emerging from the hallway that you entered into. Shit, David, bad news.
Yeah.
And you see Taurus kind of quick lean back in the chair and immediately, shit! And there's this blast of gunfire from the doorway. David, the gunfire is sure to give you away and your position no longer concealed. You have to decide.
I'm gonna wait to see how Vapor responds to the sound of gunshots. If it looks like she's about to do something hostile, or if she does something hostile, I'll shoot her. But I will give the benefit of the doubt and see what Vapor's response is. And if she starts to vanish, I will take a shot before she successfully vanishes.
Rose, as you hear shots ring out from the box seats beyond, a blast of muzzle fire illuminating the otherwise dark space, revealing David and Taurus's location as Taurus tries to hold the door for David. Immediately, you see Vapor look up the same direction, both of your eyes drawn to the noise, and Vapor's compatriot in the stands quickly jumping up, diving in between the seats and taking a concealed position, most likely trying to put eyes somewhere on the box seats above. Looking at you, holding the gun still to Poppy. That was your plan? Snipers?
I'm going to throw the coagulant in her face. And I'm going to grab Poppy's arm and jerk her towards the dugout. With that half second I buy myself, I'm going to try and turn around and shoot her.
I'll say the attempt to blind. Make an effort to utilize, I'll give you your grace or your brawling on this one.
Ooh, grace. 7.
The proximity to Poppy, the trained nature of the operative, should be temporarily blinded, but will still be able to take a shot. Rose, roll a d4. And make an effort to utilize your grit or to endure. I will let you decide.
Okay, we're just gonna do straight grit. 5.
the spray of chalky beige powder quickly dancing across the front of Vapor's exposed form. Nothing particularly damaging about it, as much as trying to provide you a brief window of opportunity. And as you can see the hand kind of instinctually go up, your grip pulling on Poppy, there is this decided blast from the pistol that Vapor is holding. A second cutting across as she erratically flails to try and take shots off. And as you feel a round dig into the back of your shoulder, your form is thrown off entirely as the tight grip around Poppy's hand pulls you, and her form hits the ground.
I would take a shot at Vapor at this moment.
Make an effort to be accurate.
It's a 9.
You can roll a d4.
That's a 4.
At a distance away, the sting of the shot causing your focus to waver for the briefest of moments, snap back into your surroundings with the report of a loud shot ringing out from a distance away as the back of your calves and heels are immediately collided with. A strike through the front and center and the lower portion of Vapor's form, lying across the lower portion of Poppy's form on the ground.
Do I have the faculties to move, to get up?
Yeah.
I am going to try and stay, like, since I'm so close to Poppy, I want to stay close to the bodies. Whatever pseudo cover that can provide, I'm going to crawl and grab the synthesizer, kick Vapor off of my sister, and is Poppy moving? Okay, no. Nope, we haven't got this far. Come on, get up. Poppy, get up. And I'm going to try and drag her as best I can with trying to keep an eye on, there's pandemonium in the stands, but trying to get to that dugout. I'll drag her the whole way if I have to.
Pushing and charging forward. The only immediate gunfire that you can hear is directed back at David in the bleachers beyond. The immediate threat from the box seats, not maybe from the field itself, but from the aggressors now pushing outside your door. David, at this point, Taurus has stacked 3 bodies directly in the doorway, and it is now wide open. Taurus quickly flips over and looks at the field, stares for a brief moment. You see him kick out the magazine, quick load in another one, back to the door. And as he is kind of going through this shifting process, there's another burst of gunfire that immediately fills the entire room with deafening noise and loud, obviously violent kickback. David, please make an effort to endure for me.
It's a 5.
Okay. As you turn around and look to deal with the aggressors, you and Taurus are sitting shoulder to shoulder, kind of looking through the doorway. How many of them do you think are out there?
I mean, like, half dozen.
Yeah, sure.
Call it a half dozen.
Sure. Probably, right?
Yeah.
And there's another burst that kind of cuts in through the door, and as you both kind of flinch to cover and come back, this flashbang kicks into the room, and immediately your eyes, senses, and head are kind of distorted for a brief moment. Please make an effort to focus for me.
Ten.
Two operatives quickly burst through the door looking to capitalize on the flashbang, but you are able to set your sights and dial in before they are immediately able to assess your location. I'll need you to make two separate efforts to be accurate, as Taurus is significantly impacted by the flashbang.
That's an 8 and another 8.
Go ahead and roll 2d4 for me, please.
2 and a 1.
The focus is certainly there, but trying to adjust to the dynamic movement with a weapon that's designed for a little bit longer range engagements sees you on target, but not able to completely incapacitate your assailants. 2 shots, a quick reload between the two, transitioning back and forth, sees one of them kind of spun, the other one takes it in the armor, kind of hesitates for a brief moment before both of them immediately fire back at your suppressed position. Roll a d4 for me, please, David.
Yeah, that's a 4.
As you see Taurus's form angled across, a stream of bullets crashing from hip to shoulder as he falls back, his assault weapon clattering to the ground as the alternative operative that had sustained a little bit more of his center mass shot from your first firing quickly returns, and a short controlled burst pumped your direction. With the wavering physical form and the difficulty that you are already experiencing from the numerous injuries, shots, attacks, you feel a quick and sudden thrush of emptiness as whatever spark of fight you have left begins to leave you.
I do
David,
have
what are your last words?
I do have the remnants of a Kevlar vest on.
That is correct. Roll another d4.
Yes, another 4. Never mind.
What are David's parting thoughts to this world?
Well, T. Might be a little more than half a dozen.
You think so? On 3. 1. And he reaches out and immediately begins to fire off his shots. In exchange, a cascade.
Gwen, babe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry things didn't work out as planned, and I'm sorry I couldn't be with you to the end like I promised. I hope you know that I tried. And I hope you can still retire to the south of France, like we talked about. I hope you find happiness and joy because you deserve it. I love you, Buttercup. Keep the rest of the group going, but this is where I leave you.
Rose, you would reach the abstract side of the field, ultimately finding yourselves isolated from your pursuers and the firing coming from behind stopping. It is there you would find the lifeless form of your sister, an errant shot having removed her from the mortal coil. Do you have anything you would like to do right away?
I don't. I don't stop dragging her till we get to the dugout. And I think there's like a war between my logical brain understanding what's happening, and I feel like I instinctively continue to shake her for a second or two. Puppy, you can't, we're so close. We're so close. Please wake up. Puppy, please. I'm not a good person without you. I can't do this without you, please. I can't. What's the point? What's the point? What do I do? Please. Don't. Oh, I'm going to kill all of them. If you don't get to live, then nobody gets to live. Okay. I know you would kick my ass if I quit, so I'm gonna go. But I'm not leaving you, and you are not leaving me, okay? I love you so much. I'm like holding her as close as I can. I'm not me without you. And they're all gonna pay, okay? They are all gonna pay. And I'm gonna kiss her face as many times as I can. And I'm going to take her patch and my machine gun and the synthesizer, and I'm gonna walk out of the dugout. And I'm gonna try to get as far away from here as I can. Fuck all of them. I'm gonna sneak out and I'm gonna leave.
And as Rose departs, Lexi, you are nursing a significant wound. Ear has yet to rise from the backside of the concrete barricade. Still have half of your rounds for your ballistic exo-fists and the pair of Semtex provided by Crit on the wire job on the way over, against a small remaining clutch of operatives numbering in the half dozen.
I'm gonna, if I can, I'm going to, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if I can get to Gear and see if if I can get his ass up and moving, or see if at least I can see if it's possible to get him up and moving.
Make an effort to use your grit here, please.
Grit will be a 5.
Your movement is pained and labored. You navigate and expose yourself to additional incoming fires. You just try to skirt quick past and around, and emerging on the opposite side of the concrete barricade, you see Gear breathing heavy, holding his neck. Very obvious overflow of blood coming from the side of his neck.
Shit.
I'm being shot tons of times. It's not that bad. And you see him almost as if he is going to say something else, and you watch him expire right there.
God. Okay. How far away have these people amassed from the helicopters?
They're likely beginning to take a more aggressive formation moving your direction, but they're probably still only about 10 feet away from him.
I'm going to hole up a little bit longer. I'm gonna do a quick glance as if I can steal them. Try to get them a little further away from the helicopters, and when I feel as though they are a fair enough distance away that this explosive device is not going to render at least one helicopter unusable, I will throw myself towards them, get as many steps as I feel like I can go, and I will try to detonate this explosive. And get as many of them as I can.
I'll allow you to make an effort to endure or use your grit, your decision.
It's a 9.
Roll a d8 for me, please.
Seven.
There is a small, scattered mess of gunfire that is quickly thrown over the modicum of protection that the concrete barrier offers before you hear the guns stop in their entirety. And now you just hear footsteps slowly inching towards you. Your last fibers of being now entirely dedicated to listening to every crunch underfoot. They do not seem to readily assess your plan of action here.
As I hop over whatever I have cover behind. As right before I make this dash, I'm going to look towards Gear, look towards the furthest helicopter, and my turn to get left behind. And I'm gonna get as close as I can and get as many as I can.
whether it is before or after your aggressive roll atop the concrete divider, Lexi, what are your last words?
Small, sad smile. Let's rumble.
Charging over, moving into the crowd in front of you before a massive detonation rings out across the area.
I've had a lot of second chances, more than I deserved. I'd like to say I don't know how or why I made it this far, but that'd be a lie. Truth is, I'm really good at saving my own ass, no matter what that means for other people. I hate myself a little bit for it. I have a lot of regrets. Well, the joke's on me, because it didn't matter in the end anyway. I was a shitty person and still ended up here. So I guess this is where I leave you.
Crit.
Yo.
As you navigate into the undercroft that is the mechanical section of the stadium, you are immediately directed to a series of explosives that are clearly poised, ready, and waiting for your intervention. Glitch and Blue taking Overwatch. Pause, trying to directly protect you as you see a relatively intricate and standardized electrical discharge device. I'd like for you to please make an effort to use your sciences for me. Quickly understanding the mechanics and the relays involved, the moving parts and pieces, and all of the intricacies that go on with the construction of something like this, you are readily able to defuse it. However, as you are just finishing up your first one, probably taking no more than a few minutes to assess the functional components and pieces, you begin to hear from somewhere up above some scattered, slightly obscured gunfire beginning to ring out. No longer indicative of peace up above as you all move directly down below. And while the connection to the device itself is disconnected, the remote detonator that you were able to separate begins to beep, indicating a activation of some kind of protocoled communication in that regard. It's not particularly long before you start to hear a number of these similarly themed beeps and red flashing begin to fill some of the corridors racing down, probably both directions for a couple hundred feet, and likely some around either corner, depending on which end of the stadium you actually ended up on. Crit, you will now have to decide. Are you attempting to defuse any of the explosives, or any of your fellow survivors and operatives who may yet live will be detonated along with the stadium?
I'm going to defuse.
Need you to make 2 more science checks for me, please.
11.
And another?
12. Good rolls for something.
Moving down one line, it seems as if each one you grow more and more familiar with the process, a simple and straightforward mechanism by the time you get to the fifth one, which you diffuse at the end of the row. Instead of illuminated with a flashing red, there is now emptiness and this unpowered darkness that illuminates the hallway, and Glitch's light attached to the end of her weapon, and Blue trying to cover you from behind, seemingly the only illumination that you are immediately having in your vicinity. However, there is a broadcast immediately that kicks out as you disarm the last one on that side. It seems that the connectivity piece is now registering some kind of disconnect from this heartened out quadrant. And as you're just beginning to put these pieces together, down the hallway, another burst of gunfire, this actually directly aimed at you, as it seems as if some obscured, difficult to quantify even in the low light, the operatives that begin illuminating the hallway with muzzle flash as Blue and Glitch begin to fire back.
I would like to yell out.
What are you yelling out?
In my hands, I hold the power to destroy everything that surrounds us right the fuck now. Everybody stop fucking shooting and go the fuck home. Or I swear to science, I will wipe us all off the face of this fucking planet and leave nothing but a smoldering crater. And
make an effort to use your threat.
Ten.
You continue to hear this beeping fill the hallway, almost this ominous running flash of red lights. Even Glitch kind of looks back at you for a brief moment. You fucking for real?
Oh, I am 100% serious right now. I'm tired of all y'all motherfuckers.
Rose. Rose. Taurus. David. You see Glitch start to look around. Gear, come in. Fuck. Is this place gonna blow up?
If I will it to.
Rose, come in. Taurus, come in. Here, come in. You see a notable ceasefire. Blue staring at Glitch kind of staring at you in between attempts. The lights covered with the front of the palms from your assailants down the hallway. Almost a permanent stalemate in the tension of such an extreme declaration. If anyone is still on this frequency, mission abort. We're pulling out. Let's move. And you see Paws kind of still holding a pistol, like almost looking confused at Glitch, still kind of looking at you, Crit. I'm gonna need you to make an effort to use your diplomacy here for me, please.
I'm just gonna hold up one of the remote detonators and just look her dead in the eyes. Six.
You see Paws turn away, immediately following the other auxiliary path back. The light from the flashlight let go for a brief moment as Blue quickly turns around. Paws, where are you going? And rounding the corner, I'm not leaving Rose behind. And you see Paws disappear into the auxiliary tunnel. Glitch dropping back from her cover for a brief moment. Fuck! Fuck! Everything is going to shit! Slow pull back, Blue, on you. And Blue still confused, hesitant. And you see Glitch kind of look back to you for a brief moment, kind of look at the detonator, pulls out and just peeks at her little data pad for a brief moment, kind of looks at Blue again. It's in order. Blue begins moving past you. Crit, what would you like to do?
I'm just going to keep my hand on the detonator, and as they all move past me, I'm going to walk the opposite direction.
Towards the ARC operatives.
Towards the ARC operatives. Holding up the dead man switch, just saying, I'm done with this bullshit. I'll walk, you walk.
Quickly pointing their weapons at you, a little alarmed at your casual approach. One of them kind of pulls their mask down a little bit just to reveal this extremely sort of dark, bushy beard that seems to have been trapped under this mask probably at least for the last several hours. Kind of squaring you up behind goggles, the darkness of the beady eyes almost visible in what limited reflectivity is down there. You wouldn't take us all with you. Not if you were looking to walk for real.
Not actually looking to walk.
Babe, we're on standby. What are your orders? Vapor. Make an effort to use your diplomacy one additional time for me, please, Crit.
Before I do that, I want to say something. Seems you don't have any orders coming in, so that should probably fall to the smartest person in the room. Pack up your shit, soldier. We're leaving. I'm in charge now.
You see both of them kind of bear down on their weapons, sort of forcefully jamming them into their shoulders, aiming them at you still, kind of hesitantly looking back and forth at one another best they can in this sort of silhouetted hallway. Make an effort to use your diplomacy.
Nine.
There is this extremely tense hold, this brief standoff. You see one quickly look to the other, sort of adjusting their mask again just to provide a little bit of extra room for their mouth. There's a place Kesh always used to talk about. Maybe it's still open. Go get a drink. What do you think? You see the other one just stand upright, completely fix his submachine gun to the side of his hip, letting the sling kind of carry it low before pulling out a small pistol. going to stay with you. We're going to walk out of here. Then we're going to go our separate ways. What do you think of that?
It's an option. It's not the smart option, but it's an option.
Well, if I'm with you, maybe we don't get blowed up, yeah?
That right there.
Escorting involuntarily these questioning and hesitant operatives that seem to, over the course of several hundred feet of movement, still provide multiple requests for updates from Vapor that seem to go unanswered. The exterior of the ballpark is an absolutely construed litany of chaos and blood and bodies. There are explosives and moving parts and pieces that suggest several firefights had all taken place in various forms and regard, and near the far side of the field that you can just barely see from the main entrance, there's nearly a hole missing from the stadium and the parking lot that was near it. Otherwise, altogether, completely missing now. Glitch and Blue emerge directly behind those operatives, this steady and uneasy train. A measured response to trying to extricate themselves without additional violence. The beeping from your detonator continuing to go on until the pitch and frequency raised to a clear point of apex. Far enough removed to be sure. ARC's standardized secondary protocols kick into action. And a subterranean blast, a series of explosions rattle off and cause the foundations of the ballpark to sink in on itself and quickly lose structural stability. The only pilot you have left remaining moving towards the location where a helicopter was last seen and offers you a ride, Crit. You trying to go back home?
That's where I was supposed to be going anyway.
Told you I'd get you there. Eventually. Blue, come on. Let's go. You see Blue kind of lingering on the post bar, holding onto the door, kind of looking back as you see the entirety of the stadium sink in on itself a bit. The helicopter blades continuing to whir up, this decided intent to wait hold as you see the helicopter finally begin to lift into the air. The ballpark quickly becoming smaller and smaller as you dissipate away. The top of the line ARC chopper moving a new direction. And to those of you out there surviving, stay safe. Stay alive.